Have you ever whispered to yourself, it's just a headache, I'll be fine? And then you weren't. You popped some paracetamol, or you pushed through that meeting, you rub, massage your temple, you smiled through the school run, and you cook dinner through the pain. Yet inside your brain, it's on fire. Yet still you tell yourself it's just a headache. But what if it's not just a headache? What if it isn't? Today, today I'm peeling back the curtains on the silent thief. Migraine. Migraine. It's not the kind you see in movies that they depict for you. It's the kind that steals your days, the kind that steals your peace, and even the kind that steals your purpose. You know what? You might already be living with it and you don't realize. Let me share with you five personas of people that you might be able to relate to. And I'll love to know which one do you gel with? Which one do you relate to? Which one would you say, oh yeah, that's definitely me. Now these hypothetical people, fictional people, but is based on true symptoms and experiences that people have. And at one time, I've experienced and I've been one of those personas. So I know, and that's why I want to share this with you. And so that you can be able to know which one you are and the steps to take to get you to a place where you have complete freedom from head pain and you're able to name your head pain, especially if you don't know what type of head pain you're living with. So let's get into it. So you're this person, you're hardworking, right? You perhaps maybe in your 30s, you love your family, you love the work you're doing, you feel like you're in your dream career. But then every other week, you get this pounding head pain. You know, that head pain behind your eyes. And maybe you say to yourself, oh, I just have a headache. I'm going to take some pain medication. You pop in some paracetamol or Tylenol and you say, oh, just keep moving. It's just a headache. You decide to drink water. You drink more water. Someone say, oh, it might be stress. So you just chalk it down to it being stress. But you're still having that pounding head pain behind your eyes. You never track your symptoms. You can't be bothered to go to the GP because, in fact, what's the point? Even when you happen to go to the GP, you never bother to ask the doctor about anything because the pounding pain in your head behind your eyes, you just chalk it to being, it's just a headache. I'm stressed. There's no need to bother my GP about it. There's no need to bring it up with the doctor. I'm all right. And the thing is, you've fallen for the lie that many women have. You believe the lie that real women push through. You know what? Migraine affects 1 in 7 people in the world. And only 12% of those people actually get a true diagnosis. So there are millions of people walking around this world with head pain that has gone undiagnosed. Migraine affects 1 in 7 people, and only 12% of people are diagnosed. And that means millions of people call it just a headache, while it is a neurological condition and not just a headache. So imagine trying to fix a leaking pipe by painting over the wall. That is how many people treat migraine, like a headache. So I call this person the unseen seeker. So the unaware coper. You just coping. And the head pain behind your eyes, you just think, oh, it's just a headache. Let me just take some pain medication, try and reduce my stress and keep up pushing. Oh, real women push through. You're unaware about what your head pain actually is. Maybe you might be able to relate to this second person. Let's call this person the confused seeker, right? You're having this pain, but the pain has kind of changed. Once upon a time, it was once in a while, and the pain now has become not just once in a while anymore. It is sharp, it is unpredictable, and it's blinding. You tried Google, Dr. Google in the house. You took all the type of herbal teas that you can, but you even tried the peppermint tea. You also tried perhaps maybe putting peppermint oil on your forehead. You went to the doctor, to the GP, eventually having gotten an appointment, and they just gave you yet another prescription. And even maybe, you were lucky to get that appointment, but it took you months of waiting to get that appointment. And it was less than 10 minutes conversation. And you were giving yet another prescription to get another load set of medication. When you describe the pain to someone, they say, oh, that sounds like sinuses. It sounds like those sinus pressure. Oh, yeah, I get it once in a while too. You'll be fine. Yeah. And someone told you, oh, it's just stress. Maybe that's what your doctor even told you. And maybe your boss as well told you that, your manager. Oh, it's just stress. And all this is leaving you thinking, is this just in my head? This pain that I've been feeling, is it in my head? Is it just in my head, the severity of the pain? Migraine doesn't lie. It might disguise itself, but the thing is, it never lies. It is real. And for you, proper assessment is the first step. Proper assessment. Now, that is the confused seek. You're doing all the things. Googling this, trying this herbal product, trying this herbal, or speaking to this person, researching that, everything else. And it's leaving you confused. You watched all the YouTube videos. You've listened to all the podcasts that you can. You've been in the forums. And yet, the more information you gather, the more confused express you are. And what you need is to get a proper assessment. Someone that will sit down with you and take a proper assessment. I'll share with you how you can even do that after this. Now, the third person is one that I refer to as the diagnosed but drained. Can you relate? Can you relate to this person? You finally got a diagnosis and they said it was a migraine. You're so relieved that you can now put a name to the head pain that you've been having for months. Your doctor gave you a triptan. Yeah. You finally breathe a sigh of relief. Finally, I have a diagnosis and I have medication. Oh, yes. You finally have answer. But weeks turns into months. Each attack came like a storm. You are living attack after attack. That's your life. You're scared of lights. You're scared of smells. You're scared of planning anything because What if? Always in your mind. What if the meds that you take, they helped a little bit, but they weren't a life. They were a lifeboat in the middle of an ocean without lights, without any land in sight. You were glad you got the diagnosis and you now have medication, but you're still living attack after attack after attack, and you're drained. I've got an episode that I share with you if you can relate to this, in which I teach the AAA method, where you get to have a step-by-step guide on how to go from surviving to actually living and thriving, leading a good and pain-free life. Because you've gotten a diagnosis doesn't mean that you're in the clear. And because you've got a diagnosis plus you're on medication doesn't mean that that's the best for your body system. So perhaps maybe you'll be able to relate to this other persona. Maybe this is you. This person I call the exhausted experimenter. You have tried everything. You've tried everything. You've tried the medication, the newest medication, the CGRPs. You've tried magnesium. You've been on the keto diet. You've tried no sugar, yet you cry in the dark room. You've cried in dark rooms. You've made and paid for appointment. You've even been told, and then even some people have the audacity to also ask if you've drank enough water. And while I don't teach this, maybe you've had someone say, "Oh, have you tried yoga? Have you tried what's the other thing? Pilates." You've tried everything. You've tried everything, and you are tired. You are exhausted. You're smart though. You're tired of chasing. You've gotten to a place where you're tired of chasing all the solutions with no system in place. You've tried everything, but you don't have a system. You've tried everything that someone has recommended, someone has said, you've read, you've researched. You've tried all the solutions that you possibly can, but you've tried them with no system in place. And all I can say is that it's not your fault. You're desperate. It's not your fault. You've been bouncing between band-aids. Now is the time to start building a bridge, because migraine relief is possible. And it's possible without you being exhausted. Because quite frankly, the experiment and the trying of everything can even be one of the things that is even causing you more stress in your life. And you don't need that. You don't need that at all. So as the exhausted experimenter, it's now time for you to try having a system to build that bridge. Perhaps we can relate to this last one, the purposeful rebuild. You've done the work. You're into journaling. You eat clean. You go on walks. You do exercise that suits your body system. Daily you do it. You have your migraine somewhat in check. Yet deep down inside, you want more. You want to turn your pain into purpose. You dream of helping others. You dream of speaking, mentoring, and sharing your story. You want to leave a legacy, not just a story that you survived a diagnosis. You want to leave a legacy. And you know what? You absolutely can. And that's what the Finspira community is all about. We don't just heal. After we've healed ourselves, we After we've healed ourselves, we lead, we build, and then we teach others how to rise. That's what the Finspire community is all about. So let me know, which of this persona are you, or where are you at currently? Are you the unaware coper, or are you the confused seeker, or the person that is diagnosed but drained? Or perhaps maybe you are the exhausted experimenter. Or maybe you are the purposeful rebuilder. You're in that stage where you're ready to share your story, but you're not sure how to go about it. Which one of these personas are you? There's only one way that you can find out, and that is by taking the assessment. It's not a test, it's a mirror. It is a gentle map to help you to kind of know where you are, help you to know where you are, understand where you are, and also where your freedom begins. Your results will more than give you a name. Your results will give you your next steps. It will guide you towards a system that fits your story, your journey. Because guess what? It's time for you to stop guessing, doing all the things, doing the most. It's time for you to stop it. It's time for you to start knowing and start really healing. I've got an episode here that explores what many people don't really talk about. And I shared that episode with you. And this episode, we talk about why pushing through the pain might be the very thing that is making you feel worse, that is making your symptoms worse. And I share how you can, I share what you can do instead. So I encourage you to check out that episode. And this is especially if you are the exhausted experimenter or even the diagnosed and drained. That episode is going to be really, really informative for you. So check it out. I want you to remember that your pain is not invisible to me. I understand. I understand. And I want to ensure that you hear me when I say you're not weak. You're not weak. You're not broken. And you're not alone. You are a fixer in the making. And I want to help you find your path. I encourage you to take the assessment because your healing starts with understanding.